So Bill Clinton goes on Fox News Sunday, hosted by Chris Wallace, who I am ashamed to say that when he first went to Fox News, I defended. Not because of this interview, by the way. I don't necessarily get on him for this because I feel bad for him because he's bloodied. But he is nothing more. He's like every other Fox anchor. He just.
At the end of the interview, he looked like he spent some time in Bagram Air Base or Gardez. It turns out is another place we tortured people in Afghanistan.
Here's the first one. It's again Chris Wallace. It was a long-winded question. Eventually getting to, shouldn't you have done more to get Bin Laden?
I understand that hindsight is always 20/20.
Well, let's talk about it.
But the question is, why didn't you do more, connect the dots, and put him out of business?
All right, let's talk about it. Now, I will answer all those things on the merits, but first I want to talk about the context in which this arises. I'm being asked this on the Fox network. ABC just had a right-wing conservative running their little pathway to 9/11, falsely claiming it was based on the 9/11 Commission report, with 3 things asserted against me directly contradicted by the 9/11 Commission report. And I think it's very interesting that all the conservative Republicans who now say I didn't do enough claim that I was too obsessed with bin Laden. All of President Bush's neocons thought I was too obsessed with bin Laden. They had no meetings on bin Laden for 9 months after I left office. All the right-wingers who now say I didn't do enough said I did too much.
You know what, though? Those right-wingers were totally accurate. I mean, why didn't he focus on Saddam Hussein more?
Yeah, that's right, because that obviously would make us less of a threat to be attacked by terrorists, as we've now learned from the National Intelligence Estimate. That's just, again, a little preliminary indication. One of my favorite things about that is he called the ABC movie The Path to 9/11, The Pathway to 9/11, which is just a surefire sign that he's a 60-year-old man with a kid. Well, it sounded like my dad.
I hear you on that. My favorite part was that he actually told the truth, and he did it in a way that it's what Jill was being sarcastic about earlier on in this segment. Why doesn't everybody do this? Why every time there's a Democrat, why don't they do this? First of all, he says these are the same guys who said to me, "Oh, wag the dog! Oh, you attacked Osama bin Laden when you shouldn't have." Why doesn't every Democrat point that out in every gosh darn Fox News interview?
Right.
I mean, for the love of God, these guys went ballistic when he attacked Osama bin Laden. They said, "Oh, he's doing it for Monica, he's doing it for political reasons. Please, please leave Osama bin Laden alone," is what all the Republicans said at the time that he attacked them.
You'll hear another question from Chris Wallace and Bill Clinton getting angrier in his response.
Do you think you did enough, sir?
No, because I didn't get him.
Right.
But at least I tried. That's the difference in me and some, including all the right-wingers that are attacking me now. They ridicule me for trying. They had 8 months to try. They did not try. I tried. So I tried and failed. When I failed, I left a comprehensive anti-terror strategy and the best guy in the country, Dick Clark, who got demoted.
He gets up in the middle of that, for all of you listening on the radio, and he takes his finger and he points at Chris Wallace. He says, I tried. And what do these guys do?
That's more than some.
That's more than some. Now, he says it implicitly there, but what is very, very clear between the lines is, I gave these guys a blueprint for trying, and they didn't even try it.
And now we will hear Bill Clinton take on not just Chris Wallace, but Chris Wallace's employers at the Fox News Network, and how Bill Clinton necessarily views Fox and the way they differentiate in their questioning of Democrats and Republicans. Here's Bill Clinton.
You did Fox's bidding on this show. You did your nice little conservative hit job on me. What I want to know is...
Wait, question. You don't think that's a legitimate question?
No, it was a perfectly legitimate question, but I want to know how many people in the Bush administration you asked this question of. I want to know how many people in the Bush administration you asked, why didn't you do anything about the coal? I want to know how many people you asked, why did you fire Dick Clark? I want to know how many people you asked about this.
Did you ever watch Fox News Sunday, sir?
I don't believe you asked them that.
We asked plenty of questions.
You didn't ask that, did you? Tell the truth, Chris. Tell the truth.
With Iran and Afghanistan, there's plenty of stuff to ask.
Did you ever ask that?
I love
it. That's the moment that I jumped out of my seat and shook my fist like, "Did you go get him?" Because, look, a lot of his points on the substance are terrific, okay? But this point is the best point of all.
I agree.
Because, yeah, it's all in how you frame it. And that's how Fox News has been framing it. And the whole media has been framing it because they're copying Fox News for the last 5 years. Clinton, bad, his fault. Why didn't he do more? Oh, Bush, don't ask him. Don't ask him
Not
why.
patriotic.
Don't ask him why he didn't do anything for their first 9 months. Anything at all. Don't ask him about the coal. Don't ask him about why he didn't do anything about the presidential daily briefing or any of the other stuff.
Why don't you guys explain what the coal is?
The attack on the USS Cole in the year 2000, shortly before the end of Bill Clinton's presidency, while it was in port in Yemen, that killed a number of U.S. Seamen, and of course, and Bill Clinton, as he said, had a plan in place, but he couldn't get FBI. Look, he didn't do enough after the Cole. There's no question about it.
But no, wait a minute. Now, Bush was in charge after the Cole longer than Clinton was.
Yes, and Clinton makes that point. That
Okay,
they had a lot longer to do something than Clinton did.
For 9 months, you sat on your ass, Bush, and did absolutely nothing about the Cole. Nothing. Zero.
Sorry, you could argue, what I meant is you could argue Clinton didn't do enough about the embassy bombings, which he had time to do. The Cole.
Right, except that he bombed Osama bin Laden, and the Republicans yelled at him for it.
Before we conclude this, let's hear our final quote on Bill Clinton, and here where he really, he doesn't name him by name, but he doesn't have to, and it's pretty clear that he directly takes on the Bush administration.
Because you people ask me questions, you don't ask the other side.
Sir,
Richard Clark.
That is not true.
Richard Clark made it clear in his testimony.
Would you like to talk about the Clinton Global Initiative?
No, I want to finish this now.
All right. Well,
all I'm saying is you falsely accused me of giving aid and comfort to bin Laden because of what happened in Somalia. No one knew Al-Qaeda existed then. And
did they know in 1996 when he declared war on the U.S.? Did they know in 1998
Absolutely.
When he bombed the two embassies? Did they know in 2000 when he hit the Cole?
What did I do? I worked hard to try to kill him. I authorized the finding for the CIA to kill him. We contracted with people to kill him. I got closer to killing him than anybody's gotten since.
Yeah.
I love
Hang on, wait, there's more.
Some troops there trying to kill him. Now, I've never criticized President Bush, and I don't think this is useful. But you know we do have a government that thinks Afghanistan is only 1/7 as important
as Iraq, as he says. And the point he was making there is he said, if I were president now, I have a lot more than 20,000 troops there. So obvious direct criticism of the Bush administration.